Grenada to use assumption of CARICOM chairmanship to collaborate with CDB on pertinent regional matters. Details to this story and more in the National Report. With the National Report, I'm Leslie Ann Johnson Cornwall. Grenada will use its assumption of the chairmanship of CARICOM next month to collaborate with the Caribbean Development Bank (CDB) on matters of regional importance. Addressing CDB staff during a meeting in Barbados on Friday, Prime Minister Dr. The Right Honourable Keith Mitchell said Grenada will propose the setting up of specific regional committees to develop pragmatic action plans to implement recommendations from CDB's thematic studies on youth unemployment, regional transport, growth and productivity, and regional tourism. He pointed to the need for improved interregional travel to foster improved interregional trade and innovative technology-driven models for addressing the regional transportation challenge for the movement of goods and people. Dr. Mitchell's assumption of the chairmanship of the CDB's Board of Governors in May of this year will coincide with his chairmanship of CARICOM in Grenada next month and his chairmanship of the Small States Forum, which he assumed in April of this year. He says the CDB is well positioned to advocate for, on behalf of small states, on issues like fast-tracking IDA resources to small states, launching a small states fast-track facility, part of his vision proposed at a Small States Forum in Washington in April. As chair of the Small States Forum, Grenada aims to carve out a space for the CDB to act as a bridge builder between CARICOM and international partners in shaping discourse and action on issues like innovative options for financing development, debt forgiveness, and recognition of small states' vulnerability in the context of aid graduation policies. Dr. Mitchell says with Grenada, specifically and the region as a whole, now holding the chair of the Small States Forum, the CDB has a good opportunity to position itself to highlight the unique issues and challenges facing regional small island economies in the dialogue at this global level. Work is set to begin on a new structure for the Holy Cross Roman Catholic School in Munich, St. Andrew. A sod-turning ceremony was held on Friday at the old school grounds to mark the start of work on the $5.4 million project. Details from Annette Moore.
Government officials, staff, students, community members and other well-wishers gathered at the old school premises today to celebrate the start of work on their new school, after being housed in various temporary school accommodations for several years. The Education Minister thanked the staff for their patience and all stakeholders involved in the rebuilding project.
Government remains committed to the task of rehabilitating, rebuilding, reconstructing, upgrading of all of our schools that are now in a state of disrepair, as infrastructure development of schools remains a top priority of this administration.
More than 80% of Grenada's physical school infrastructure was damaged during Hurricanes Ivan and Emily, with the Holy Cross RC School being one of those.
That's a project that is very dear to my heart because I saw the need for the new building here. And so this has been on the table of cabinet every week, and so it's really a pleasure. I'm very elated, I'm very happy to be here this morning.
This sod turning means so much to us at Holy Cross RC School. It signifies hope in knowing that all is not lost and that we have not been forgotten.
The construction of the Holy Cross RC School is being executed as part of the World Bank's Regional Disaster Vulnerability Reduction Project. F.A. Jeremiah and Company Limited is a selected contractor, with the consultants being Consulting Engineers Partnership. The school will be constructed in an area adjacent to the remains of the original school structure, at a higher elevation to ensure disaster vulnerability reduction. This will allow the school to be a designated national hurricane shelter upon completion.
The school will be located directly behind that open space behind us here. The project comprises a water tank, standby generator. It has a two-story structure, and it has a one-story structure that contains the male and female bathrooms. In it here, there's Spanish room, there's woodwork, audio-visual, computer, air-conditioned offices. So it's state-of-the-art.
90% of the roof will be reinforced concrete.
We are told that when the building has been demolished, they are going to extend the playing field and bring some new facilities, a basketball court, netball court, and these are all things that our community needs.
Work on the project began June 19, 2017 and is expected to conclude on or before June 19, 2018. For the National Report, I'm Annette Moore.
Staffing for the new school year, maintenance of schools, and policy issues related to the teaching service. These were some of the pertinent issues discussed between government and the executive of the Grenada Union of Teachers on Thursday. Government reassured the GUT of its continued commitment to the ongoing regularization of teachers. So far, 268 teachers have been regularized, and similar efforts continue throughout the public service. The regularization of temporary officers in the core public service commenced with the nursing sector. This is the National Report. More news after the break.
Water up to my belly, mattress floating, furniture floating, even the TV set floated for a while, you know?
My sneakers were floating just like boats.
Floods, they can happen so suddenly. What can you do?
Listen, when I saw the portable toilet from the construction site up the road float by, and I realized that all that stuff was in the water.
Floods, hazards, take control, reduce your loss. What can you do to help stop flooding? Keep drains and wells clean and unblocked. Find out lots more about floods and other hazards at your local disaster office. A message from the National Disaster Management Agency and SEDERA.
Grenada will soon ordain its fifth bishop. The Holy Father, Pope Francis, has announced the appointment of Father Clyde Harvey, a priest of the Archdiocese of Port of Spain, as the fifth bishop of the Diocese of St. George's in Grenada. Father Harvey will arrive with the papal nuncio on July 4th for a 4-day visit, during which he will meet with priests, deacons, religious and diocesan officials. He will pay his respects to the Governor General and Prime Minister, and will also celebrate Mass in different places and pay his respects to ordinary citizens and parishioners. The date of his episcopal ordination has not yet been fixed, but it will most probably take place before the end of July this year. The passing of Bishop Vincent Darius in April 2016 has left the seat of the diocese vacant. As we become more aware that climate change and its effects are real, we must be conscious of our roles as keepers of the environment. Words of advice from Agriculture Minister Yolande Bain Hosford. She was addressing Thursday's launch of the Luthbar Rainwater Harvesting Project, one of 29 funded under the UNDP ECAS projects in November 2015. The Luthbar project was conceptualized in response to the episodes of severe water shortages, especially during the dry season, one of the effects of climate change.
As a direct result of this project, this community is now prepared for the negative impacts of climate change and changing weather patterns. Secure infrastructure allows for safety and mitigation of many climate-related risks. An educated community now enables behavioral changes that can aid in even more adaptation measures and strategies being implemented.
Among the climate change vulnerable sectors, water, the coastal resources and energy are said to be the three most impacted by climate change in Grenada. Parliamentary Representative for St. Andrew Northwest, Delma Thomas, commended the Luthbar Farmers Association for taking on the challenge to tackle climate change.
Too many times we have issues of the environment, and the very fact that we can use our rainwater and harvest our own rainwater, it speaks volume, and therefore take a bow Farmers Association of Luthbar, because we believe that this is something that should happen across our tri-island state of Grenada, CARICOM and PD Martinique.
It is hoped that the project can be used as a pilot for farmers.
We hope that we will be able to help as Environment Division, as Agriculture and as Government of Grenada, more farming communities and more other communities who have identified that one of their key vulnerable sectors is going to be water, to come forward, to come with your project ideas, allow us to help you to develop them into proposals, because you can be another successful project like this one.
That's Mrs. Aria St. Louis, head of the Environment Division. And that's the National Report. I'm Leslie Ann Johnson Cornwall.